When we think of our celebs, we don't usually think too much about their history, like where they were born or what cultures form part of their heritage. We are aware that some, like Charlize Theron, who was born in South Africa, but that's usually because she herself makes people very aware of her country. Today, we have a look at the celebrities whose real nationality will shock you. Number 22. Let's start at the very beginning. Kimberly Alexis Bledel, also known as Rory from the Gilmore Girls, has a very colorful heritage. Although she was born in Houston, Texas, she grew up in a household that mainly spoke Spanish. Her mother is Mexican, and her father is Argentine. It's hard to believe that Kimberly was so shy when she was younger, that her mom encouraged her to get involved with community theater to help her become more extroverted. She's now married to Vincent Kartheiser, and they have a son together. Number 21. Best kept secret. Mariah Carey has often had people wondering about her interesting heritage since she jumped on the music scene in the 1990s. She was born in New York City to parents Alfred Roy Carey, who was of African-American and Afro-Venezuelan descent, and Patricia Hickey, who was from Irish descent. Carey's grandfather's surname used to be Nunez, but he changed it when he arrived in New York City. Number 20. What's in a name? Martin Sheen and his son Charlie have Anglo-Saxon sounding names, but did you know that they're not real? Martin will be able to show you a birth certificate that says something entirely different, that being Ramon Antonio Gerardo Esteves. Martin's dad was an immigrant from Spain, and when he was trying to find roles, he found the name was holding him back, so he changed it, which in turn changed his life. Charlie followed in his father's footsteps, whereas his brother Emilio kept the family name in the hope that it would raise awareness about his family's heritage. Number 19. Family ties. Emma Watson, actress, model, and activist, was raised in Oxfordshire. She's most well known for her role as Hermione Granger in the Potter films. Emma was born in Paris in 1990 and lived there for 5 years. Her parents got divorced and she moved to Oxfordshire with her mom. Bet you're wondering if she can still speak French. The answer is yes, although she admits not very well. Number 18. Runs in the family. When you think of Angelina Jolie, you just know things are going to be interesting, including her heritage. Already, she lives in a home that boasts a mix of cultures and heritages, and her background is just as intriguing. She has some Native American, German, Dutch, Slovak, and French-Canadian heritage mixed in her blood. Number 17. Keeping it in the family. Haley Steinfeld was born in LA in 1996 and began acting at the age of 8. Her father is Jewish and her mother is half Filipino and half African-American. She recently appeared in Pitch Perfect 3 in her role as Emily Junk. Number 16. Happy family. Nope, we're not playing cards, but rather taking a sneak peek into the life of Vince Vaughn. Vaughn also has a very interesting background. His paternal grandmother was of Lebanese descent, with his roots also including ties to Italy, Holland, England, Ireland, Scotland, tiny bits of Swiss, and a little German for luck. Number 15. It's a family affair. Tristan Paul Mac Wild, also known as Mac Wilds, is an American rapper, singer, producer, and actor. If you watch the music video of Adele's Hello a million times over, then you'll definitely recognize this guy's face. His dad is African American, and his mother is from the Dominican Republic. Number 14. Mistaken identity. Rita Hayworth was born in New York, but her father was from Spain and her mother was from English and Irish descent. She, of course, got her father's surname. Their family were big into dance, although she didn't love it that much. She got a few small roles when she was younger, but when those dried up, it was suggested that she change her name. She became one of Hollywood's most iconic actresses. Number 13. Lay down roots. And the roots of Keanu Reeves are in Beirut, Lebanon. Reeves began his acting career in 1985 and has been pretty busy ever since. This actor, director, musician, producer, and author was actually born in Lebanon. His mom is from Essex in England, and his dad is an American who was born in Hawaii but comes from Chinese, English, Irish, Portuguese, and Native Hawaiian descent. He grew up around the world, including Australia and New York City. Number 12. It's in his eyes. Zayn Malik may have been born in England, but his eyes tell a different story altogether. His father is British Pakistani and his mother is English and Irish. His mother converted to Islam when she married Zayn's father. Number 11. One big happy family. Norah Jones was born in Brooklyn in 1979 to her Indian father and English mother. Her father was Ravi Shankar, a Bengali Indian musician who also composed Hindustani classical music. Her parents separated when she was still very young, and she grew up with her mom in Texas. Number 10. Ohana means family. Ask Terry Hatcher about hers and you'll be chatting for ages. The Desperate Housewives actress is half Welsh and half Syrian. She was born in California, and her dad has a little English, Irish, and Welsh in his blood, and her mom is half Czech and half Syrian. She says her dad also has a little Choctaw heritage in him as well. Number 9. Never forget your roots. Troian Bellisario is the actress who plays Spencer Hastings in Freeform's Pretty Little Liars. This talented actress has been in the business since she was 3 years old. Her heritage is quite colorful, with her dad being of Italian and Serbian descent, and her mother African-American and Creole descent. Her dad is actually producer Donald P. Bellisario, who created the series NCIS. Number 8. Land of Make-Believe. Life in the 1930s was so different from today, and Merle Oberon was quite a popular actress during that time. She was born in the then Bombay, now Mumbai, in 1911. Her mom was only 12 years old when she gave birth to Merle. She told many tales about her childhood, one being that her birth records were destroyed in a fire and that she grew up in Australia. There were many cover-ups throughout her life, as her believed cousins were actually her half-brothers and sisters, and her mother was portrayed as her sister. Some stories claim that Merle pretended her mother was a maid. There are so many stories that a documentary was made all about her fascinating life and heritage. She was in films like Wuthering Heights, The Cowboy and the Lady, and Dark Angel. Number 7. Mixed Bag. Isla Fisher is an actress who's well known for her role in Wedding Crashers and Confessions of a Shopaholic. She began her life in Muscat, Oman, which has the United Arab Emirates to the northwest, Saudi Arabia to the west, and borders with Iran and Pakistan. Her parents are Scottish, and her dad was working as a banker for the UN at the time. When she was 6, they moved back to Scotland and then immigrated to Australia. She's married to Sacha Baron Cohen from London, whose mother is from Israel. Number 6. The Name Game. When it comes to names, Cameron Diaz has a very familiar one. What we may not be too familiar with is her heritage. Diaz is partly Cuban, but also has a little German, English, and Celtic in her blood. Her mom even has a little Cherokee in her heritage. Interesting to note, Diaz is the 14th most popular Hispanic surname, and it's number 73 on the list of most popular surnames in the USA. Number 5. Family Tree. Steve Jobs was born in San Francisco in 1955. His biography is a must-read if you get the chance. His biological parents were Abdullah Fattah Jandali and Joanne Scheibel. Abdul Fattah grew up in Lebanon and went to study at the University of Wisconsin, where he met Joanne. Joanne was a Catholic of Swiss-German descent who grew up in Wisconsin. Scheibel's father wasn't happy with the relationship and told her that he would cut her out of the family if she continued to see him. But Joanne fell pregnant and did end up marrying Abdul Fattah. However, with enormous pressure from her parents, she left him and gave her baby up for adoption. It's a long story, but Steve Jobs was raised by adoptive parents Paul Reinhold and his wife Clara. Number 4. Born and raised. Zoe Saldana Nazario, just her real name, tells a story, but we know her as Zoe Saldana, who was born in New Jersey in 1978. Her father was Dominican and her mother was from Puerto Rico. She was raised speaking Spanish and English, and somewhere in there is also a little Lebanese. She's mother to twins, Bowie and Sai, and Zen, born in 2017. Her and her husband, Keith Britton, also speak English and Spanish to their children. Number 3. We Are Family. Amber Rose is an American actress and model and is most well known for her tumultuous relationship with Wiz Khalifa, with whom she shares a child. Her heritage is quite intriguing, with her mom being of Cape Verdean African and maternal Scottish descent from Ayrshire, and her dad Irish and Italian descent. She was born in Philadelphia and is currently dating rapper 21 Savage. Number 2. Family Portrait. And Lupita Nyong'o has a beautiful one. She started her life in Mexico City in Mexico to Kenyan-born parents Dorothy Ogadabuyu and Peter Anyang Nyong'o. The second-born out of 6 children, Lupita has dual citizenship from both Kenya and Mexico. She is part of the Luo people of Kenya and Tanzania and moved back to Kenya when she was just 1 year old. When she was 16, she was sent back to Mexico to learn Spanish. She later studied at Hampshire College in the States. She's the first Kenyan actress to ever win an Oscar. Number 1. Family Business. It was thanks to the army that Amy Adams was born in Vicenza, Italy. This American actress and singer's father, Richard Adams, was stationed there in 1974 along with his wife and her brothers and sisters. She is one of 7 children, and they moved a lot when she was growing up. She ended up growing up in America, and it was Steven Spielberg that gave her her big break in the film Catch Me If You Can. Do you have an interesting heritage? Share your story with us in the comments below, and subscribe to our channel for more interesting videos just like this. Thanks for watching.